Channel open. In case you missed it, earlier today, another independent Star Trek-centric YouTube channel, TriAngulum Audio Studios, posted a video entitled Trek Talk, Star Trek Picard and the Fandom Menace. In said video, the content creator behind TriAngulum took several jabs, numerous jabs, at the Fandom Menace in the whole. However, he did not name any channel or individual specifically. Look, I'm a brand new channel. I posted my first video yesterday and no one gives a crap about my opinion, but fuck it, I'm gonna give it anyway. Full disclaimer, I do not pretend to be above all the kind of actions and behaviors I'm about to point out in this video. I am no great moral authority, but what I do have some authority on is being raised with and having my life shaped by the values, lessons, and morality that Star Trek has preached for over half a century. Additionally, I have no ties to any of the channels that might be named, referenced, or alluded to in this video. Yes, I have met some of these individuals at Star Trek Las Vegas last year for 1 or 2 minutes, but I do not have any personal relationship with anyone. I have no dog in this fight. And of course, I am no way saying that someone's ideas or opinions are invalid or that they should be silenced. Absolutely not. Everyone, and you don't need me to tell you this, is entitled to say what they feel. However, when you put yourself out there and you speak on a subject and you accuse others of doing something that you claim to despise, and then 2 seconds later you contradict yourself, well, then you open yourself up to a reaction video such as this. And you know what? I'm a fan of TriAngulum videos, as I am a fan of the Fandom Menace and their wonderful menagerie of channels. The work, the effort, the time, the knowledge that all these individuals on both sides put into their stuff is inspiring. That's why I'm here, because of them. And you know what? I'll give you this, TriAngulum. It can be very, very annoying when it seems like a whole group of channels unanimously hate something for the sake of hating it. And it's just as annoying when a channel appears to love everything for shillness sake, or for the hope of becoming a paid shill. And damn is it annoying to hear an overly positive or overly negative opinion when you stand on the opposite end of said opinion. And I'll give it to you, some in the Fandom Menace may be guilty of mislabeling someone a shill or an apologist. However, to cry foul and post a video demonstrating the exact same behaviors shows a shocking lack of self-awareness. At least most in the Fandom Menace, at least from what I can tell, can agree to just tune out, not react by posting a video proclaiming their enlightened sensibilities and then chastising others for the exact behaviors that they demonstrate in said video. Quote, like spoiled little children, they will lash out and lie. Lash out. Quote, they will say things like, Roddenberry would be spitting in his grave over this, thinking they actually have some connection and can speak for Roddenberry. End quote. And look, to state that content creators in the Fandom Menace have no authority to speak on what Roddenberry would think is, well, one, not entirely factual. We have numerous examples of how Roddenberry reacted to things. He wanted the golden standard of Star Trek to be the motion picture. He thought The Wrath of Khan was lowbrow, dumbed down, too action-packed. And what's really stood the test of time? What's really the gold standard for Star Trek films? Additionally, Star Trek 6, he walked out of that screener and liked it, said it was good, but overall thought it was dark and didn't hold up the moral values that he thought that Kirk and crew should have. So we can kind of gauge a little bit of where his mind frame would be with current Trek. To such bold statements must adhere to all content creators who have no personal connection to Roddenberry, including the content creator who says, quote, that is what Gene Roddenberry preached, and that's why these people are just despicable and are the true reason Gene is rolling in his grave. My friend, if you have some kind of intimate connection to the great bird of the galaxy who passed away 29 years ago, come forward with it. Otherwise, all of us content creators who have no personal connection to him should be left to form their own opinions based on what we did know about the man, what we do know about the man, and his reaction to things. And even if we form a conclusion and an idea and a belief and we don't agree with each other, we shouldn't be calling each other names as a result. Quote, no fan can tell another that they are not a fan of Star Trek simply for their likes. Facts. And if someone in the Fandom Menace or elsewhere did that to you, fuck them. They suck. quote, no one has the right to make you feel unimportant or small simply to make themselves feel better. And here's where you fundamentally misunderstand where the Fandom Menace is coming from. See, it's not them trying to cut someone else down to make themselves feel better or superior to somebody. No, that's CBS. That's Bad Robot. That's Secret Hideout. And that's your precious STD that needs to cut certain segments of the population down to elevate others. Not the Fandom Menace doing it. And then you go on to vouch for Gene by saying, quote, he'd want us to come together as adults and discuss our differences without attacking each other's cores. He'd want us to love one another for our different views rather than hate in his name. I guess your definition of being an adult is to post a poorly written attack video, the worst part of which I'm about to get to. See, me personally, and I'm curious as to how many people would actually disagree with me on this. See, I don't think Gene would take very kindly to someone claiming to be a Star Trek fan taking personal jabs at someone's outward appearance just because they conflict on their ideologies. Quote, they have forgotten the very fundamentals that Star Trek has always been based on. Peace, love, and of course acceptance of diversity. And no amount of ranting about little details or dyeing their hair horrible colors will change that. You go on to state that, quote, a lot of these people have strayed away from the show's fundamentals that they claim to worship so much. And then you say that you present your channel as a non-toxic environment. Yet in your video on your non-toxic channel, you judge others, you impose parameters as to what can and cannot be said by others, and then you claim that those others are, quote, despicable, spoiled little children who in essence hate for hate's sake. And then you go on to personally attack the appearance of one of these people without ever having the balls to name them or their channel or show your own face. TriAngulum, all opinions are valid. However, the way with which you presented your opinions today, not only shameful and shitty and hypocritical, that's the least Star Trek behavior I can think of. End transmission.